Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining Lewis University's television network. Today is Thursday, November 30th, 2023. I'm Allison Lakewoods.
And I'm Samara Martinez.
And we begin with our top national and international stories. Former Secretary of State Henry Kissinger has died at 100 years old. According to a statement from his firm, he died Wednesday at his home in Connecticut. Kissinger became a naturalized U.S. citizen in 1943 after his parents left Nazi Germany in 1938. He served as National Security Advisor and Secretary of State under President Richard Nixon and Gerald Ford. Kissinger received a Nobel Peace Prize for helping arrange the end of U.S. military involvement in the Vietnam War. However, his legacy isn't without criticism. He was heavily criticized over the bombing of Cambodia during the Vietnam War, as well as supporting a coup against a democratic government in Chile.
At least one person was killed when a U.S. military Osprey aircraft crashed off the coast of a Japanese island. A total of 6 people were believed to be on board. The U.S. Air Force has confirmed a V-22 Osprey went down off the coast of Yakushima Island, according to Japan's Coast Guard. The accident occurred yesterday afternoon. A patrol boat and aircraft were sent to the scene. One person has been recovered and taken to a hospital. Numerous Osprey crashes have been reported over the years, including one in August when 3 U.S. Marines were killed and several others injured during military exercises in Australia.
A 3-year-old child was seriously injured Wednesday when a police pursuit ended in a crash in Milwaukee. The officers were trying to stop a driver wanted in a Chicago murder. Police say the chase ended when the vehicle collided with a school bus. The school bus flipped over, causing a second collision with several other vehicles. A 26-year-old suspect fled on foot but was quickly caught and arrested. 2 passengers in the suspect's vehicle were hurt, including a 3-year-old child who was taken to the hospital with a head injury. The 71-year-old bus driver and a 30-year-old driver were involved in the secondary crash.
The service for former First Lady Rosalynn Carter was held at the Moranthia Baptist Church in Plains, Georgia. The service included tributes from Miss Carter's sons, Jack and Jeff, along with the scripture readings by 3 of her great-grandchildren. Jimmy Carter, who is 99 and receiving hospice care at home, was also able to attend Tuesday's service in Atlanta. He was joined by President Joe Biden and First Lady Jill Biden, former President Bill Clinton, and former First Ladies Hillary Clinton, Laura Bush, Michelle Obama, and Melania Trump. Rosalynn Carter died on November 19th at the age of 96.
The North American wolverine will receive long-anticipated federal protections. According to U.S. Fish and Game officials, the wolverine is now listed as threatened under the Endangered Species Act. Climate change is driving the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service's decision to protect the increasingly rare animal. Scientists warn that warming temperatures are rapidly diminishing the mountain snowpack that the species rely on for food, reproduction, and ultimate survival. The wolverine's habitat is still relatively healthy in most of Alaska and Canada. A rare trio of wolverines was sighted in California's Sierra Nevada mountains last summer, 1 in Yosemite National Park and 2 in the Inyo National Forest.
Up next, we will have your local news.
And later we will have your entertainment and Lewis Spotlight.
In life, you coming into our home was one of the greatest rewards we could have ever had.
You know, it took 20 years and I got my 3rd child who was 17 at the time.
It's so cool to watch the adult that you've become, and you really have done as much for us as you think we've done for you.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
A Naperville family put a spin on the holiday season by decorating their house with a Taylor Swift-themed holiday lights display. Homeowner Amy Scott says that the Swift Swift herself resembles themes of spreading happiness and joy just like Christmas does. Their neighbors agree. And bring their Swiftmas spirit by making a sharing friendship bracelets. The idea for her Swiftmas display came to her after seeing Taylor Swift Eras Tour movie. Her family helped plan the decorations for weeks and completed them during Thanksgiving break. In the light of the excitement, traffic is picking up around the Scott's household.
A shooting in Greater Grand Crossing on Monday afternoon left a teen critically injured and another man wounded. Police say that someone had approached the 20-year-old man and 16-year-old boy in the street and began firing shots at them. The teen is in critical condition with gunshot wounds to the abdomen and right arm. The man is in good condition, however, only with a gunshot wound to his hip. The incident occurred around 3 p.m. in the 300 block of West 75th Street. The investigation of the suspect is ongoing.
Forward Corey Perry is leaving the Chicago Blackhawks after threats of termination for unacceptable conduct. On Tuesday afternoon, the team accused Perry of engaging in conduct that is unacceptable and in violations of both the terms of his standard players contract and the Blackhawks' internal policies, which are intended to promote professional and safe work environments. The team didn't elaborate on any further details pertaining to the misconduct or violations. They did say that the situation didn't involve any other players. Perry had been placed on unconditional waivers, and if he clears the waivers, his $2 million contract will be terminated immediately.
NASCAR has donated 24 bikes to a school in Chicago through its partnership with All Kids Bike. NASCAR donated 24 bikes to the Ogden School on the north side. The All Kids Bike program was made with the intent to teach kindergartners how to ride their bikes in their gym classes. President of NASCAR Chicago Street Race, Julie Guys, said programs like All Kids Bike help NASCAR become part of the community all year round. This is the 5th school NASCAR donated bikes to this year. They plan to give bikes to 3 more schools in the next few weeks, donating a grand total of 200 bikes.
McDonald's is looking to open a secretive spin-off restaurant, Cosmics, in Bolingbrook near Boynton and Weber Road. It consists of 4 drive-through lanes. The fast food chain recently tapped into new marketing tactics to capitalize on culturally relevant characters, including limited edition Grimace birthday meals, which has sparked thousands of consumers to engage.
When we return, we will have our entertainment news.
And later, we will have your Lewis Spotlight and Sports Update.
Is to detect the scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you.
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Long story short, Taylor Swift is the man. She's Spotify's Global Artist of 2023 with more than 26 billion streams since January 1st. Reggaeton superstar Bad Bunny took second place, followed by The Weeknd, Drake, and Peso Pluma. As for Miley Cyrus' record-breaking Flowers, took the top spot with more than 1.6 billion global streams. Kill Bill by SZA and As It Was by Harry Styles rounded out the top 3. Users can now see their personal yearly metrics on Spotify's mobile and desktop platforms. For the first time, users are matched with a city that shares similar music taste.
Marvel actor Jonathan Majors is headed to trial in New York City Wednesday for assault and harassment charges. This case involves a domestic dispute with Majors' former girlfriend, Grace Jabari. Majors pleaded not guilty to charges of assault and aggravated harassment. According to a complaint Jabari filed in March, she claims that Majors struck her in the face with an open hand. She also says he put his hand on her neck. According to a counter-complaint filed in June, Majors says he was assaulted by Jabari in the same incident. Jabari was arrested in New York City in October on suspicion of assault and criminal mischief stemming from Majors' countersuit.
After more than a decade of helping hundreds of businesses and entrepreneurs, Mark Cuban plans to leave Shark Tank. The reason? Cuban says he wants to have a couple of summers with his teens before they enter adulthood. The billionaire says he loves that the show represents that the American dream is alive and well. The Dallas Mavericks owner plans to leave the series after filming the next season. Cuban says the fellow Sharks will survive fine without him. According to IMDb, he has been on every season since guest starring in 2011.
Well, if you have ever wished that you couldn't hear someone eating, this is for you. Doritos is hoping to cancel noisy crunching using artificial intelligence. The technology was trained by recording more than 5,000 crunch sounds so that the software would be able to detect and mute it. It's available only for gamers on Windows software. It's intended for gamers playing with others so that the snacking doesn't interrupt the team's performance. But many may be hoping that it will eventually work on phone calls, or even better yet, in person too.
Oscar-winning actress and singer Rita Moreno, who turns 92 next month, revealed to People's Magazine she sunk recently into loneliness and battled it by making new friends, starting at the supermarket. The Puerto Rican star said her loneliness and sadness emerged after she moved out of her house in California's Berkeley Hills area to a new condo, not near family members. She lived in the house with her late husband of 45 years, who died in 2010. After realizing she didn't know how to make friends because people always came to her, she challenged herself to meet new people. She made a friend at the supermarket and they went out to lunch. Up next, we will have your Lewis Spotlight.
Then we will have your Lewis Sports Update. Stay with us.
Oh, we scored? Yeah, we scored. Oh, did you see that? Whoa, we scored? Yeah, we scored. We're going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Hey, why does my face look like that?
I'm playing with these new face filters.
Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine.
I'm gonna need that back.
No.
Kevin!
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Or maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all. If I could go back, I would. But I can't.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Hi, so today we are joined by the College of Education and Social Sciences' very own Dr. Hannah Klein and Daisy Collazo. So Collazo represented her research sentiment towards firearm safety in prenatal and pediatric settings at the 2023 Midwestern Criminal Justice Association's annual meeting this September, with Dr. Klein as her mentor. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
And so what has inspired you to research this topic?
So I am a new-ish mom, and when I was going through prenatal classes, my husband actually pointed out, no one's ever talked about firearms, but they spend hours talking about securing your dresser to the wall, and which is really important too. Yeah. But firearms are one of the #1 killers of babies. Yes. And so when we were taking my daughter to pediatric appointments, we also noticed they weren't talking about it. And so I had the opportunity to find an awesome research team to start asking these questions about, is this happening and I just don't know about it? And if it's not, then would people want to hear about it?
Okay, and so now what is like this research project like that you guys are doing?
Yeah, so this research project is kind of split up into two ways.
Okay.
So the first way is a survey that we give out to parents in Illinois that have children under the age of 18. And the survey lasts up to 10-ish minutes and just asks them questions about their experiences and sentiments on receiving firearm safety education in both prenatal and pediatric settings. So just asking them questions like, hey, have you received this kind of information at appointments? And if you have, what do you feel about it? Do you like it? Do you not like it? And that's kind of on that side of it, the parent side of it. But on the other end, we also do interviews with healthcare workers from both pediatric and prenatal side, and just asking them questions about their end of it. So just saying like, would you feel comfortable discussing it in classes or in appointments, or if you do even talk about it? And if you do, how do those conversations go? Are parents really receptive, or are they kind of like standoffish about it, and just getting their opinions on those experiences that they have.
Okay, so that's really good. Like, it's really nice that you guys are able to, you know, make like the connection to yourself especially, and then like you have someone, such a great partner to help. And so with this research project, like how long is it? Like, about how long has it been, or since you guys started?
So we started the project at the end of May, rolling out the survey, I think around the first week of June, and reaching out to a ton of people, but we ran into a ton of roadblocks. Daisy got so many, sorry, I'm out of the office emails from doctors over the summer. So we kept it going throughout the whole fall, and we're going to keep it going because the more data we can gather from parents and from doctors, the better we'll understand the issues.
Okay, and so now with like, since the research like started so long ago, what like results have you found from it?
So from the parents' end of it, we found that a lot of parents in both the prenatal and the pediatric side of it, so they feel comfortable discussing it in both classes and appointments, and they prefer to talk about it. But the surprising thing is that they think that these professionals actually don't have enough or know enough about the subject to talk about it in their settings. So it was kind of interesting to see. We want to hear it from you guys. You guys are the professionals. We trust you, but I think you guys just need to be more educated on the subject to do so. And on the healthcare end of it, when we do these surveys, the interviews, a lot of the results that we're getting from that end of it is that they're comfortable discussing it, but they think there's a problem with it being too political. They think that gun talk can be a little political. People will feel kind of have a little anxiety kind of talking about it with them, because they think, hey, this isn't a health issue, though it is, so why are we discussing it with you?
There's always that fear, like, we're going to take your guns, when in fact we are saying, we're not trying to take your guns, we want you to just lock them up safely, put the bullets somewhere else. And we're even providing gun locks to parents who take our survey and to healthcare providers if they'd like to hand them out as well.
Okay, and so like, what is the survey questions, like what do they consist of?
Sure, so the survey asks individuals, have you ever received prenatal classes? If so, do you remember if there were safety topics discussed, and do you remember if firearms were discussed in those? And then we have some follow-ups if they say yes, but the answer is generally no. And then we ask them similar questions of, in pediatric appointments or primary care setting, have your doctors ever talked to you about any of this? And then we ask them their sentiments. Do you feel comfortable if someone were to have these conversations with you? What's your comfort level like? Would you like those conversations to occur? And then do you think that those individuals are smart enough? And then we ask a bunch of demographic information as well, including, are they firearm owners, to understand, you know, maybe there's a difference in comfort levels. And in fact, what we found is no, firearm owners are just as happy to have these conversations as people who are not actively owning firearms.
Wow, that's really, really good. And it's able to like open your guys' mind to see like they're kind of very similar. And so since you went to a conference with this, like how was the conference?
It was really nice. I think I got a lot of help and feedback from a lot of my professors in the criminal justice department, as well as my mentor. I did a lot of a lot of practicing times and a lot of practicing with my mom. I practiced a lot in front of my parents and just to get all the worries and anxiety out of me. And after that, it was a nice experience. My first one was in Chicago, so it was a little scary because I had to go into the city, but it was great. And it was interesting to get feedback from other people who also study the same field. So it was a great experience.
And she did a great job.
Yeah, I did. Oh, I bet. I
Yeah.
mean, this is such a cool topic that like you're able,
Yeah,
and
for sure.
you probably for sure get so much like information and feedback on it.
Yeah.
And so like just speaking a little more on the conference, like was there any like projects there that like really were eye-catching to you or caught your attention?
Oh, there actually was one that I really liked. It was about a police officer, and he did a research project that looked at kind of their history, because it was,
It's okay.
Yeah. It's about it's a rule that they have that if a cop has, it was like expunged
records?
Yes.
Okay.
And if they could
I did
do
not
that
go to
or
that one.
not,
I had to go to a different talk.
if they could do that or not. And so it was just really interesting to hear his experience, because he has a lot of background and history in that field. So I'm blanking on the specifics, but it was a great experience just getting to hear about what he did, because he got firsthand experience on that job. So yeah.
And so that's really cool. Like you're able to see like different things and hear like different views and things like that.
Yeah.
And so just to kind of like wrap this up, like would you do this experience again? And like what advice would you want to give to anyone doing or wanting to end up pursuing like in this field with this similar topics?
Oh, I'd for sure do it again. I think the advice that I'd give to other students is, as long as you got a great mentor and you have a great team, that's all you really need. My mentor has helped me a lot with just answering simple questions like, how do I transcribe an interview? How do I do an interview? How do you make a code book or stuff like that? It's just the very specifics that go into conducting a research project, and I've gotten a lot of help from my mentor, and as long as you have a mentor that helps you that way, then you'll do great. And especially if you're really passionate about what you're researching, then that's all you really need.
Okay, well, I appreciate you guys so much for coming on the show. You know, you guys gave a lot of good information. So to any parents listening, as you said, like just take their survey,
please
do things like that. But thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. Yeah. And up next, we will have your sports update. You guys did so good. Thank you so much.
I blanked on that one question. Sorry.
What are you looking for?
I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. Through a nationwide network of food banks, Feeding America serves virtually every community in the United States. See how you can help your community. Visit feedingamerica.org.
There's so many rewards in life. You coming into our home was one of the greatest rewards we could have ever had.
You know, it took 20 years, and I got my third child, who was 17 at the time.
It's so cool to watch the adult that you've become, and you really have done as much for us as you think we've done for you.
Flyer women's volleyball received an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament this past weekend following a dominating victory over University of Missouri St. Louis in the GLVC Championship. The Flyers have now been crowned GLVC champions 3 straight seasons. The ladies will travel to Missouri St. Louis to take on number 6 Rockhurst today for the opening round of the tournament. The winner will take on the victor from number 2 Ferris State and number 7 Hillsdale.
5 Lewis soccer players have been named NCAA Division II Academic All-District for 2023. The women's soccer program had 2 individuals recognized, Melissa Hadzik and Mariana Pinto. As for the men's soccer program, Charles Karlbach, Sebastian Doublehofer, and Arturs Gornickis were all honorees. The College Sports Communicators Organization, as well as the CSC Academic All-American program, separately recognized the nation's top student athletes for their performances on and off the field.
The Lewis men's soccer team will advance to the Sweet 16 round of the NCAA Division II men's soccer tournament after defeating Illinois Springfield in penalty kicks this past Sunday. The game proved to be a tough matchup with regulation time ending with a score of 0-0. Moving into those penalty kicks, Lewis's Charles Carlback, Mikey Ravel, Marco Holzer, and Joram Bogers crushed each of their shots, helping Lewis secure the win. The Flyers goalkeeper Sebastian Doppelhofer played incredible defense, limiting UIS to just one made penalty. The Flyers will be back in action against the University of Indianapolis on December 1st.
The Lewis University's women's basketball team overpowered Truman State 72-68 away Monday in a close matchup. The Flyers finished the first quarter with an 11-3 run and a comfortable 31-21 lead midway through the second. At the end of the half, Lewis held a slim 36-34 lead, forcing 12 turnovers while only giving up 5. The Flyers took advantage in the third quarter, making 8 of 13 shots and had the largest lead of the game for 14 points. Grace Hilber led the way for the win for the Flyers, with a career high tying 26 points over 36 minutes, while Catherine Schmidt secured 16 points in the win. Lewis women's basketball team will face off against Drury at home tonight at the Neil Carey Arena.
The Lewis University men's basketball team lost a hard-fought contest at the buzzer against number 7 Ferris State, going 89-87 at Neil Carey Arena this past Monday. Lewis went ahead 7-3 early after a three-pointer by junior Bo Frericks. Ferris looked to respond before the Flyers knocked down back-to-back baskets by Frericks and junior Jameer Hill, which made it 14-8. Ferris State started the second half with back-to-back buckets to cut it down to 3, later knocking down a three-pointer for an 82-81 lead with under 5 minutes to play. Lewis will be back in action for its home GLVC opener today as the Flyers host Drury at 7:30 p.m.
And that's it for today's news. Thank you for watching. As a reminder, you can always keep up with Lewis University's television network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and by visiting our YouTube channel. I'm Samira Martinez.
And I'm Allison Linkwitz. Have a great night.